Listen to what Uber's CEO Dara Khosrowshahi just said about Surge on the platform, something that helps you make more money on the Uber rideshare or the Uber Eats platform.
In terms of Surge and
rideshare, all right, here's Surge.
They are coming down. Generally, I would say Surge levels now are running at the high 20s to 30% range. We're more comfortable with range, call it in the teens. ETAs on average are running, call it 6 minutes, and we are more comfortable in the 5-minute range.
So the goal for Uber is to take that 20 to 30% surge, the high 20s into the 30s, down to the teens insofar as surge. Now, I don't think that's going to be a fast moving thing. I don't think it's going to be in Q4. Honestly, I don't think we're even going to really see movement as far as a blip on the radar until Q4 of next year. But here's what I'd watch, because I don't want to lose out on surge. I don't want you to lose out on surge. I wouldn't confuse the summer slowdown with seeing less surge because of this. So the summer slowdown, that's what we call that tapering in consumer spending over the summer months. Now, moving into fall and Q4, the time of filming this video, we're kind of out of that summer slowdown. And there's even data from DoorDash, for example, that says that customer spending peaks actually in Q1. So actually, it should pick up in a couple of months. For DoorDash, that customer behavior peaks in February. Now, the second thing I'd watch is that long-term quarter-over-quarter surge declining, honestly. So into Q1 of next year, I'd say Q1, 2, and 3 is to really track your surge. And honestly, I'd spreadsheet it. I'd say, hey, is surge on average on the weekends, let's say like $2.50 or even Boost Plus. You can do that with Boost Plus Pay as well. Is it averaging $3, $4 during the dinner rush or the busiest times? And then over Q1, 2, 3, has that changed at all on average? This is a very real thing, straight from Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi saying, hey, surge, the prevalence of surge is too high right now. And since doing this side hustle stuff since 2015, this is all I do. I help you make money in different side hustles. We need you to be ahead of the curve if you need to pivot. So again, what we're going to do is track Q1, 2, 3. If we start to see surge declining, you should already be activated on different apps, so you can multi-app. Now, eventually, if even food delivery gets too slow, I want you to look at multi-niching. Is there any other niche in your marketplace that you'd be interested in? But I'll tell you this, one kind of saving grace. Did you hear that other part here where the supply hours are growing and the average driver is more engaged?
And we are seeing our supply improve, and generally supply hours are growing at very healthy rates, which is a function of new drivers onboarding, but then the average driver who's onboarded being engaged at a higher level than they were last year.
Having done rideshare, I think it was 2016 or so here in Pittsburgh, well, the average per mile pay decreased, I believe twice. It was like $1.20 a mile or whatever it was, and then it decreased to 90 cents a mile. And that statement from Dara saying, hey, drivers are more engaged. Well, when that happens, when the pay drastically changed, drivers were not engaged and passengers could not find rides on the rideshare platform because the numbers didn't make sense. So yes, this is a warning for you that Uber wants to decrease surge, and maybe it might even come faster than Q4. Comment down below when this might hit markets noticeably, seeing less surge, less prevalence of surge. When there is surge, it's a lower dollar amount. Comment that down below. If and when we see a noticeable, stark decline in surge, drivers like you and me, that's going to be kind of the system of self-checking to see if the platform makes sense. Because like that example from like 2016, 2017, when the rates changed in Pittsburgh, if the same thing happens on surge, I do predict they're going to see something similar. If surge completely tanks, if it drops off, if it truly becomes non-existent, then what is a platform based off of? It's based on base pay and tips. And I'll tell you, honestly, from doing thousands of trips since 2015, if the program is ever just base pay and tips, you're not going to make the kind of money that you really want. So Uber needs to find that happy medium, because they're obviously trying to operate a lean business and a profitable business, because also, let's be real here, if there's no business, if there's no side hustle for you to even work on, then the opportunity for you is completely gone. So it has to make sense. That statement was really interesting after this one.
We are investing billions of dollars in driver incentives to bring drivers on board.
So billions into driver incentives, it sounds like you're spending so much on driver incentives, but you want to decrease driver incentives. Again, we don't know the roadmap on that. And then there was this comment.
Earnings from our earners on a global basis were $10.8 billion, up 25%, all-time high on a global basis.
So earnings up 25% globally for all earners. And that's just the verbiage that Uber uses for couriers and drivers, earners. Now that I think is a little deceiving, because I feel like Uber's continuing to enter new marketplaces and new verticals, cross-selling their food delivery with their ride share. So yes, while earnings went up 25%, I'm really interested in the average earnings per hour for a driver or a courier.
The solid earnings that we're seeing, right? Average driver in the U.S. making $36 per engaged hour. Those are very, very healthy earnings levels.
So an average of $36 per what? Per engaged hour. And listening to this live, I thought that was really interesting. What's the measure of an engaged hour? Is it like DoorDash, like dash time versus active time, where it's only when I have a request? Even if so, we'll assume that even if they mean here per engaged hour, when you actually have a request, a ride, or a food delivery assignment, $36 an hour is very good, because we've seen stats from DoorDash. This is actually on their website, somewhere in their blog, I believe, that the average Dasher earnings is $25 an hour, which is still good, but 36, that's a big number. So yes, something to think about, a warning, of course, and this is something that I wanted to get in front of you, but again, I think it's going to be a slower burn. Comment down below if you agree or disagree on that. But that is the roadmap from the 20 to 30% surge frequency down to the teens. Now, here's the thing. I'm always going to commit to maximizing your side hustle income. So consider subscribing. Would love to have you a part of the team here. Drop a like on this video. I am going to follow this closely, and also communicating with you on how the surge frequency is. You can click or tap the screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you, and I'll see you in the next one.